Good afternoon. Today is July 28th, 2021. And here's what we're looking at for today. And it's really just a range day within these overnight highs and lows, which are marked in yellow. You can see later we broke out, but that's just a slight breakout, pulled right back in. And then we spent a fair amount of the day after the opening in this smaller range with support levels down here. And you can see we broke out of that at the FOMC announcement. There's an FOMC announcement at 11, which causes a lot of volatility. So Mack suggests you make sure you are flat an hour prior to that. So yeah, let's take a look at these trades. If you played it like a range, you should have been pretty good. I got trapped. I think there's a couple of traps I'll talk about in the at the end of the video because I got trapped. And they're pretty basic, I would say. Just catching all the eager traders such as myself. So in the overnight, it looked like we were in this upward channel, and it looked like the midline was working. So it was like a range with a slight upward bias, really. We had these two large legs up with just some corrections. So we get this really at like 3 a.m., I think it was. Yeah, we get this congestion. And it did form after a move down. So technically the bias was down. But you can see in this channel that prices are moving up. So it also gets a little congestive because it's near the midline. So we get this breakout that fails, and you get a higher low right here, but that's like right into the highs of the range, so you can't really enter on that. And then on this second breakout, I treated that as a failure. But look at how that midline of the trend, the upward trend I drew, look at that midline hold those prices. So I should have exited at break even, and I thought I put my stop at break even, but I actually put it at break even +1, so it didn't get down there, and I was like, wait, why isn't it triggering? But anyway, so I got trapped. I think if you were reading this right, you can treat it like a breakout pullback because it's above the EMA. First, it's a failed second entry short. I think if you were reading it right, you could do that. So towards the open, we start this moving down. I think you should probably go short here. Matter of fact, let me see. I just want to see if it's technically so that's the thing, it's a double top. So really this is just the first entry, but I think you could probably treat it as a break back into this congestion, and we made this strong move down. So I'm going to mark that as aggressive. I do think you can enter there. And you probably would have gotten a runner for that. But even though we have a break outside of this channel, we get that second entry, failed second entry long, is what I looked at this as. And we hit the overnight highs, so I was expecting us to go to the overnight lows. It's far from the EMA, but I really like that super bearish signal bar. I'd go short a tick below this bar if this one ticked higher, but this one didn't tick higher. They just had matching highs. And another reason to go long is it's off the midline of the overnight highs and lows. So we form this congestion, pull back to the EMA, form some more congestion. You get a first entry, second entry long off the lows of this range here. So I think with room to the highs, I like that. It is congestive, but I do think maybe I should mark that as aggressive. Get first entry, failed second entry short, but I'm not sure if you can go long above that. It's far from the EMA. but it is off the midline of the overnights and what turns out to be the midline of this range, but I don't think you would have had that drawn really, unless you had it drawn here and just clicked on your measured move. So we do make that perfect measured move, and you get a try to go higher once, twice, a third time, big bearish bar, clearly trapped longs, taking a long off the second entry. So that's a failed second entry long. You get a big move. Then we bounce here for whatever reason, get a first entry, second entry short, and I think, with that doji, I don't think you can go short, but once we get this bar, I think you can go short, because that's clearly a level of resistance. And then here we get another second entry short at that level of resistance. First entry, ticks higher, second entry, boom. And I went long here thinking that some people were getting trapped short at this important level of support. And it did get a scalp, but I don't know, that's aggressive. Probably shouldn't be doing that. We get a first entry, second entry, failed second entry short, but here, I don't know, it just looks like this is too congested. We have this doji and this doji right there. And then you get a lower high here, but it's only a first entry. This second entry would have gotten you a scalp, but it was just a doji. That's why I didn't take it doji far away from the EMA. And then here we have this FOMC meeting. You can see some volatility. And we go. I took a first entry long here and got trapped out. So if you're just patient, first entry, second entry long, and you could have had this trend line drawn because it looks like that's a midline. Maybe like drag it up a little bit. Like that. That looks like a midline to me. First entry, second entry long, off the midline of the overnight range after we've come to the bottom of that. And that's all you can get. So I just got trapped going short here thinking that this was a failed second entry long. So let's see, because both people would have gotten trapped if you went long here. Well, we didn't make it to the high of this trend channel, but really we've been ranging all day, so you shouldn't be going long here. And that's why I thought I could go short on a failed second entry short. But I think if I had my trend line drawn, I would have seen that I'm just going into the lows of that channel and of the swing, even though it's off the EMA. And this is just a first entry, then you get a second entry. I think you can go short here. So we'll take a look at my trades. I didn't do well today. Yeah, like I said, I got trapped back here going short in what appeared to be an uptrend. And yeah, this congestion formed after this big leg down. But we were making higher lows, higher highs. Yeah, so I misread this. First entry, second entry short, which was actually turned out to be a failed second entry short that I should have went long above. Oh, I got trapped here too. Wow. Oh yeah, I took a first entry short. Wait. Oh no, I went long here because of, okay. Yeah, I went long here thinking, oh, well, prices broke out of here. If prices broke through this channel, why are you expecting it to immediately rebound? It takes time. And we're in this very strong downward short-term channel. So, since it's a strong channel, we should expect these lows to be tested first. So, just eager, too eager. Common problem I have. Yeah, I went short on this. I'm completely fine with that. We made a triple top here, and then we tested it one more time, and then we tested it again, and that's a second entry short. So I am okay with that. I went long here. That's a little too aggressive for my liking, even though it does look like it's trapping the shorts, and it looks like it looks like a second entry, but it technically isn't. So, and then I went long here on a first entry like a doofus. So just follow the rules. That'll save a lot of trouble. First entry, second entry, I went short on the failure. But yeah, I think that's actually, why would it, this kind of ties into the trap I experienced over here, kind of. I went long. Why are you expecting it to rebound so quickly? But in the same thinking, why would you expect this to fail so quickly? But this also isn't even on the trend channel, so yeah. At least this one. Why am I expecting this breakout to fail so quickly? Well, it's a second entry at least, and we're coming off the overnight highs. So that's what I saw today. Those were my trades for the day. I hope everyone had a great day, and I will be back tomorrow.